Is she strong enough to do this? Or you couldn't carry my husband out of a fire, which my response is, he got himself in the wrong place if I have to carry him out of a fire.
We got to talk about DEI initiatives in firefighting, which is not a sentence I should really even have to say, but it is bubbling up to the surface of the online conversation because of the tragedies going on in Los Angeles right now. And the fact that the Los Angeles Fire Department appears to have gone all in on the DEI craze. Now, to be clear, from everything I've read, they're doing a good job down there. I haven't seen any issues that are attributable to incompetence among the firefighters in LA. And they certainly couldn't have stopped this disaster from happening. It's because of much bigger picture issues. But I think it's fair for people, when they see stuff like what I'm about to show you, to question what the heck is going on inside of these institutions and why anyone thinks it's a good idea to have them continue to stray away from meritocracy. Here's a clip of the deputy chief of the fire department for Los Angeles, who is a woman of color, in an interview she did with a progressive media outlet a couple years back. Take a listen to this.
You want to see somebody that responds to your house, your emergency, whether it's a medical call or a fire call, that looks like you. It gives that person a little bit more ease, knowing that somebody might understand their situation better.
We'll get to the second bit of this, which is somehow actually worse. But first off, no, babe. I and everyone else don't give two craps about whether everyone else with common sense, at least, about the identity of who's showing up to save me from the flames. I care that they're able to save me. They're strong enough to lift me up if I've passed out from the smoke. I don't care if they're gay like I am. I care if they can save me or not, if they know what they're doing, if they're in shape, if they're strong enough to do the job. Who on earth cares about the representation of the people doing EMS? Now, look, I think anybody should be open to all. They should have high standards. Here's what you got to do. And if a woman can meet those standards, by all means, participate. I don't want it to just be only men. And certainly race is irrelevant to the conversation of who's qualified to do these jobs entirely. Gender, because of the reality of the differences between the biological sexes, there's more to be discussed there. But race is totally irrelevant. But first and foremost, who cares? I mean, California has this whole thing where they're trying to make their firefighting force less white and less male. No, just make sure they can save people and do their jobs. And I don't trust that this woman could pick me up and lift me out of a burning building. Maybe she could, but I have my doubts. And her joke about that very question does not reassure me. Take a look.
Is she strong enough to do this? Or you couldn't carry my husband out of a fire, which my response is, he got himself in the wrong place if I have to carry him out of a fire.
Not the woke people victim blaming burn victims. Now, the best possible interpretation of what she just said is that she's joking. And doesn't mean that literally. Because if she actually meant that seriously, like, well, it's the man's problem for being lying down, then you're in the wrong line of work, babe. But I will give her the benefit of the doubt and assume that is a joke. Still, I mean, you should be reassuring people, no, women who are in the LA Fire Department still have to meet the same strength requirements as men. They still have to be able to lift a grown 200-pound person out of a burning building before we put them in those roles. So we're about gender equality in terms of equality of access and opportunity, but we still have these high standards. That reassurance, I'm not getting it. Are you getting it? Would you trust this person? Me? No. And it's not because of the color of her skin or her gender, although that's a more legitimate question to ask. I just want to make sure the people in these positions are there because of merit and qualifications, and that we're not lowering standards with this DEI craze and nonsense in matters of literal life and death. You want to talk about making the post office more diverse or whatever? I guess let's have that conversation. Keep it out of the shit where people's lives are at stake. I feel like that's not too much to ask. Again, to be clear, I'm not saying DEI caused the LA fires. I'm not saying the fire department is doing anything but their best. And I'm sure many of them have been heroic in the way they've responded and are putting their lives on the line. But people are just raising this question because of the timing here. And it's a valid question to ask. Because again, if you ask me, DEI goals and initiatives have no place in fire departments or anything else where people's lives are at stake. And I just think That's common sense. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below, and let me know what you think of that video. Am I being punked? Is Ashton Kutcher about to stick out his head and say, "You've been punked"? Because that's what it feels like when I see like stuff like this. Like, welcome to the year of our Lord 2025, people. I kind of hate it here.